So my name is Erica Wozniak-Francis. I have been a Chicago public school teacher for the past 15 years. I just started my 15th year. And I've been at Oriole Park School a whole fifth grader, so almost 11 years. My relationship with my students, getting to know them and having time to see them grow like you, watching you as they get older and they learn things, and also just seeing the joy of students' faces when they walk into school and their excitement to learn. I am a Chicago Teachers Union delegate, that's what we call it. In other unions, they call it a union steward. But what that means is that I'm an elected representative for the staff at the school to advocate for our contract, which will be up in 2019. But I became union delegate in my very first year teaching in Chicago public schools because I started teaching on the north side of the city and then started my very first job officially on the far west side of the city. And I came to realize that there were inequalities in our city as far as the education system went, and I wanted to find a way to advocate for my students, and I found that was the teachers union, because teachers' working conditions are students' learning conditions. So when I advocate for an issue here at Oriole Park, such as high class sizes, I'm advocating for my students to have lower class sizes, and we use the teachers union as a means to advocate for the needs of our students. I think when we look at the inequities in our schools, we really need to take a look at the inequities in our city, and I think that our schools are a direct reflection in what's going on in the neighborhoods in our cities. Do people have access to housing? Do people have access to good paying jobs? Do people have access to education? When a student walks into school from a home where they've heard 30,000 words and their parents have read to them and their parents have time to sit down and their parents don't have to worry about where their next paycheck is coming from or how they're going to pay the rent, students automatically are at an advantage. Students who are coming from homes where their parents have to work 2 or 3 jobs, or they have a single family home, or a single parent home, they're automatically at a disadvantage. So understanding where students are coming from and why they're coming from those situations. So up here at Oriole Park, we have kids who have all different types of needs. But overall, we have kids who come to school with breakfast in their bellies and a lunch packed for them, and parents who are going to make sure that they sit down and do their homework, and parents who have jobs where they can be home at 5 o'clock and make sure that they can read with their children. So it's 2 very different situations, and I think part of the issue that we're not looking at more closely as we're grading our schools is we're not looking at where our students are coming from on the first day of preschool or on the first day of kindergarten. And I think that's a huge problem, and that's something that we as a society and in the education system need to really start analyzing how we can better assess and better meet the needs of all students coming from all different types of situations. 2012 was a year where, of course, teachers in Chicago came together and we voted over 95% yes to a strike vote. And we did that because we work in schools and we continue to work in schools that are starved for resources. And we came together to advocate for things such as having students have recess. Making sure that our students had extracurricular things within the school. So we are still fighting for those things, but in 2012 we came together and we made a huge statement, and that has trickled across the nation. We see teacher strikes all across the country, in Oklahoma, in Arizona. Teachers are coming together. They're wearing red. I'm wearing red today in solidarity with the union. You see a lot of teachers in the building wearing red because public education is under attack, especially right now under the current presidential administration and the current Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos. Public education continues to be under attack, and teachers' unions are at the forefront of fighting for public education and for public school students.